Welcome to the Civil War Digital Digest. I'm Will. Today's episode, we'll talk more about what to do with the ration if you're a federal soldier. It's also going to be a good idea for what to do if you're a civilian and you need something to do with flour. Now, flour is one of the choices that soldiers could have been issued for the bread ration. Hardtack bread, cornmeal, or flour. 1 pound, 6 ounces a day. We have half a pound we're going to deal with today. What do you do with it? Well, here's a choice, and it comes from Sawyer. He published it in Sawyer's Culinary Campaign in 1857. Scott's Military Dictionary publishes it at the beginning of the Civil War, and several other Civil War publications pick it up. And the reason I mention civilian life is if you look at the Kentucky Housewife from 1839, you're going to find a plain dumpling recipe that's very much the same here. Gender roles being what they are during the Civil War, we understand that probably fewer men cooked than do today. You now take all these men, send them to the army. Who's going to feed them? They have to feed themselves. Sawyer addressed the issue. Let's talk about the flour issue today. Plainer way dumplings. 4 ingredients. It doesn't get much plainer than this. Half a pound of the flour issue, a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and about 10 tablespoons of water. Now we also have close by a little bit of extra water and some extra flour that we may need to get to. Let's start by combining the dry ingredients. In a soldier's environment, we're going to take a fork and we're going to stir the dry ingredients together. If you're in a civilian house and you have a sieve, go ahead and get the ingredients mixed that way. We're just looking to take the salt, the pepper, and the flour and get it mixed up. The dry ingredients have been combined. We need to add water. It's going to go ahead and take flour and make it into the paste that we're going to boil to make the dumplings. Sawyer calls for 10 tablespoons of water. We'll go ahead and add that now. And we're going to start to stir it all in and mix it up. The goal is just to make a nice thick paste. If you find you're not getting a good paste, don't be afraid to add a little bit more water. Just would caution you, if you've ever baked, you know that if you're going to add extra water, you need to go slow and small amounts while you're doing it. As well as using the fork, don't be afraid to get your hands in there, get this mixed up. We want it to be an even moisture level. We don't want some pockets really dry and some pockets really wet. We've got the flour, water, and salt fairly well mixed. We're going to lay it out and we're going to cut up the dumplings. I'll take just a little bit of flour to make this working surface a little easier to work on. I'm going to work on one of the mess tables here. If you're doing this in the field, what do? No problem. Back of a hardtack box, inside of a cover, inside of an ammunition crate lid, any flat surface like that would be great for preparing. Since I am working on a table that we're going to use for other things later on, I put just a little bit of flour on to keep it all together. One of the things we want to do is we're going to get a nice consistency here while kneading. We're going to take a knife. Since we're in a garrison setting, I've got a little bit larger knife. If you have to, you can do this with a pocket knife or with any of the knife out of your rations. We're just going to cut this up into 16 pieces, as is recommended. We're going to take it outside. We're going to boil it. So, Sawyer recommends as you cut it up, put it in a little bit more flour. And we're just trying to keep it from getting sticky, so when you put them in the water individually, they stay sort of their own individual pieces. A little bit of flour here to keep it. And we'll keep going here. Obviously, you can count to 16, you can cut 16 up. We'll be back with you when we're ready to go. We have General Casey's stew going out on the fire right now. Its instructions say that it should simmer for 3 hours. Well, this doesn't need 3 hours of cooking. If we're going to simmer, put it in for the last 20 to 30 minutes. If we're boiling on its own or with a little bit of meat, boil for 10 minutes. So, boil 10 minutes, simmer 20 to 30 minutes. Well, we're back in the mess hall now, and it's time for that time of day. It's time for dinner. You can see that the dumplings have come back inside. That which was just boiled is a little bit lighter in color. And if it was done in a stew, it's going to pick up some of the texture of the stew, adding a little bit of flavor to it. We cut it up. Find it's nice and cooked on the inside, and whether you only have a flour ration or whether you've got a nice stew to work on, you've got yourself a good way to use the flour ration. For the Civil War Digital Digest, I'm Will. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, we'd appreciate it if you hit like on the episode, and please subscribe to our channel.